Welcome back to the Isolation Podcast. You guys already know what it is. It's one man, one focus, and that's all buckets. Today, though, I'm actually accompanied by a very good friend of mine. Someone that's been keeping the east side of Las Vegas very entertained throughout quarantine. So definitely very appreciative of that because I've been losing my mind, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here with my man, Stevie.
What's going on? I'm happy to be here, man. This is great. I mean, it's fresh out of quarantine. Not yet.
Well, we are 3 days away from phase 3.
Okay.
According to Governor Sisolak.
Well, if you look outside, we're definitely out of quarantine.
Oh yeah, like you see, we're here.
Yeah, this is it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing a video interview or nothing like that because we're here. And you know what? It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot. It's all right though.
So if you see me pull up the towel and wipe my head, you know what I'm saying? Just know we in the fourth quarter right now, man.
Yeah, for real. It's hot. It's all right. We're going to get it done. It's cool, though.
Absolutely. So I just kind of want to get into this. Just kind of want to talk about you at first, before we get into, actual basketball things. But so can you – I kind of just touched up on the quarantine thing that you've been doing, but can you kind of explain it to us, like what you've been doing through quarantine?
So I've been basically like everybody else. Everybody else was stuck at home during quarantine and trying to figure out what to do, whether it was a hobby or, something that they're trying to catch up on when they had actual work. So I decided, I rap and make music, but I was kind of in a middle place where I was doing loading. Just had put that out and then, go get your merch. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Go get your merch. But yeah, so I put out loading, and then I had some shows that I did, and then all of that obviously went away as soon as quarantine happened. So I thought like, what can I do week to week to get people engaged? So I started doing stay-at-home Sundays, and every week I do a freestyle over different beats from whether it's Erykah Badu or the last one was Halfway Crooks. Or Shook Ones by Mobb Deep.
Right. And then another one, we got to mention the one that's actually basketball related in a way.
Yeah.
The one that sampled, I forgot the actual name of the song, but it always reminds me of NBA Street 2.
Reminisce Over You. I did that one. That was week 3. Week 3. So I did Reminisce Over You. And as you brought that up, the reason why I did that instrumental and beat because it reminded me of a better time, my childhood where, we had NBA Street Volume 2. We had some great NBA video games come out, like NBA Live. Back in the day when it was like NBA Live.
Right.
2K was coming to its own, obviously, with Allen Iverson on the cover for like the first two years.
And then you had Shaq for a couple of years.
Yeah, Chris Paul.
KG was on it. I think the KG cover year was the turning point because that was also the year where, I think that was 2K7.
What, KG? KG was
2K7 or 2K8?
2K8. Because I remember Boston won that year.
Right, and they had him on the cover. Lakers. And that was like a turning year because that was when Live decided to just not really care anymore about their games.
Not at all, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you can say the same thing about 2K, but that's the here.
Oh, yeah, no, that's current. That's currently. We've been throwing side shots at Ronnie 2K for months now. You know what I'm saying? Ever since that Bleacher Report event that they had out here at the Brooklyn Bowl, because we ran into him one night. I took a picture with him. And when I took that picture of him, first of all, I asked him, I was like, who's going to be the best player in the game? He said, we're going to find out. I was like, bro, you don't know?
Bro, and then
I was like, I get it. You know what I mean? You want some suspense to be there.
Yeah.
But let's be real here. The same person that was the best player in the game last year is going to be the best player in the game this year. That's normally how it goes unless that player hits a turning point in their career.
Exactly.
So all I asked him was, is it going to be Kawhi? Because he just won the ship. He said, we're going to find out. Like, bro, just tell me. Yes, no.
I think
tell me it's LeBron.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me it's Steph.
Yeah, and I feel like they do that sometimes because some people that be getting ratings higher than others, they do it just so that we have this conversation because there's a lot of players that personally I'm like, how is such and such better? Like, for instance, I mean, Zion's really good, like really, really good, but he was getting ratings higher than like, I remember seeing like when it first came out, Lou Williams was like right next to like rookies that I was like, man,
Zion starting out like an 86, 82 or something like that. Don't get me
wrong, if he stays healthy, he's gonna be he's gonna be transcended. But like I probably
right. But let's like the guys that make the ratings in 2K. There's a reason why these players actually get upset when they see their ratings. You know what I'm saying? More times than not, just because it's like they feel like whoever's making these ratings isn't really watching the game.
Yeah, more times than not. Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, it's like you got somebody that doesn't necessarily play basketball for like as a profession,
right?
Judging you on like something that you do for a living. So it's
Right.
kind of like a
right,
almost like. And then if on the other side, if that person gives you a good rating, it's kind of like, do I really trust this?
Thanks, appreciate you.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So
I knew you guys knew what you guys were talking about, even though you had me at 82 last year.
Yeah, last year you were tripping, but this year I know that. Yeah, so
you guys must have laid off some people and hired some new ones. You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
No, it's different, but yeah, 2K step your game up. That's the.
We're hoping and we're praying. Okay, we're tired of talking about you, Ronnie. We're tired of it. You know what I mean? Step your game up, figure it out, or just step away from the position of the ambassador of 2K and let somebody else take the reins. Somebody else that's better with talking about it. Better talking to people.
That's it. That's all we're asking for. That's
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and talk about you and your music. So with the quarantine series, what would you call it actually yourself?
Stay at home Sundays.
Stay at home Sundays. I apologize. So stay at home Sundays. With that, you had recently done some shows as well. You had recently dropped an album. You've been doing a lot of things lately. You know what I'm saying? But so I imagine with all these verses and all these songs you've been writing and whatnot, it's hard to pick a favorite.
Yeah.
But can you?
From the Stay at Home Sundays?
No, in general, like your music in general.
Well, like. I would say the last week, since it's more relevant, the last week that I did for Stay at Home Sundays, when I'm just talking about, it's basically a flex moment, and we've been knowing each other for a while.
Right.
I'm a very even keel guy. I don't really talk a lot of mess, but it was that time where I felt like that last week was the equivalent of Dame when he hit that shot against OKC and he hit the little
waved them off.
Yeah,
because he don't really talk that much himself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's probably the best analogy I can come up with is him as far as like that's how I feel when I get on the mic. So like the last week I was talking a lot about just like the stuff that I've heard. Like I put out 2 albums, put myself on the market. Y'all want blueprints? I can give a man the water. Wonder if they gonna use it. They seeing all the work put in, but they see it as a nuisance. People that ain't worth a dime putting in their 2 cents. Good thing I don't need change. Like that. Over the course of years, I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of talk. Just like a lot of NBA players, they hear a lot of talk. They hear a lot of negativity. They go into the off season, which is basically what Stay at Home Sundays was.
Right.
It's just the off season, getting yourself prepared.
It was your Hoodie Mellow moment.
Exactly, where everybody's making the buckets in the gym. What's that gym they always play in? It's like a Lifetime Fitness.
Lifetime Fitness. It's the Sky Tower or something.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's in the middle of Manhattan, New York.
Exactly. So like that was my moment. Like week 6 when I'm talking all that mess about like, because I had heard a lot of people talking about like, oh well, you should do this and your music doesn't sound like this and it should sound like this, and it was like, nah, forget all that. I'm here. I've got this far doing what I've done to this point. So
exactly.
Yeah. But
and how do you feel about people that try? I mean, not how do you feel about people, but how do you feel about that perception that where people believe that you should be doing music differently? You know what I'm saying? Like you should be taking a different approach than what you're taking.
Well, I guess like my first thing is like I know coming into this that my music's not for everybody. Right. Like first and foremost, if you're trying to please everybody doing anything,
right,
like,
that's in general.
Yeah, anything you can do. Podcasting. Right. You can do sports reporting. People don't like Stephen A. Smith is probably like the biggest reporter of all time in our generation. As far as like, but there's people that don't like him. Going back to rap music, there's people that don't like Drake, and Drake is probably like one of our generational artists. If you're gonna go into it as far as like listening to what everybody else is like saying about your music or how you should do it, it's gonna just dilute everything that you're doing. You gotta find your own lane. You can't listen to everybody. Take criticism if it's coming from a right place and the right heart. But you can't go through your whole career doing anything listening to everybody. Can't please everybody. So.
Right, and that's with. It's not just music. That's everything in general.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? But I find it crazy how people try to do that. How they try to come up to you and tell you how you should make your music. When it's you that's putting your heart out on the on the track.
Yeah, exactly. And not everybody can like I said, my stories are my stories.
Right.
I don't know how to lie on a track. Like
Right.
I don't sit there, and there's a lot of people that have a persona. Shout out to what's his name? 6ix9ine.
Oh,
He got
Lord.
a persona.
Oh,
that's Trey's guy.
Oh no, he did it.
Treyway.
He
Treyway.
did it.
Treyway.
Yes.
Treyway.
Oh.
I be watching. So
Yes.
anyway, but yeah, there's guys that have personas, and I'm just not that guy. So
Right.
my thing is like, hey, if people don't like it, cool. If they do like it, cool. I take it for what it is, and I'm a long way from where I need to be, but I feel like I'm on the right path as far as people liking music and stuff like that. So
Exactly. There's billions of people in this world. You don't need all
Nah.
7+ billion
Nah.
people to like your music. You know what I'm saying? Especially for you to be successful, you only need a small fraction of that.
exactly.
You know, and
Exactly.
that's how it's always going to be. You know, with anything and everything. Like for example, Jimmy Butler, he doesn't listen to rap music.
Yeah, he listens to country music.
and he makes his teammates listen to country music with
Yeah.
him.
And you would think that's probably like the last person you would think that'd be like listening.
Bumping, yeah.
But isn't he from
He's from
Texas?
he's from Tomball, Texas. But
Okay.
I mean, nonetheless, you don't really see that often in the NBA community in
Yeah,
general. You know what
exactly.
I mean? No matter where
Exactly.
anybody is from. There's guys from Alabama,
Yeah.
you know, etc. A lot of people from the South, you know, that could listen to country music, probably do listen to country music, but, you know, we only know them to listen to hip hop, rap, R&B,
Yeah.
you know, the popular stuff.
Yeah. Literally the popular stuff, the pop stuff.
Exactly. So, this is kind of off track from what I was just speaking of, but I just asked you about your own favorite verse. But you have a favorite verse or song from somebody else?
I would have to pick. There's a series, and real Kendrick Lamar fans know exactly what I'm talking about when I say The Heart, Part 1, Part 2,
Part 3.
Part 3, Part 4. All those, I look to motivation for those because it's the beginning of something.
Right.
So he basically tells the story of whatever his album's gonna be before that or whatever. So it's something for us to get excited for. I can't pick exactly one because all of them have a special place. Because when I first found Kendrick Lamar, I was hooked on Part 1.
I think Part 4 was recorded out here in Vegas.
Oh, really?
Fun fact, at the Palms.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But Kendrick Lamar is my favorite rapper. I wish he would drop more music, but consistently.
Yeah, no, you're not the only one, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to give him the GOAT title
Yeah,
because he doesn't drop as often,
exactly.
you know, as you would hope for, as you would like for. But every time he does drop,
Yeah, everything stops.
It's monumental.
Everything stops.
You know, and that's why I still give him the GOAT title.
Exactly. And then like, not to get too off topic, but people give J. Cole the title and stuff, and I think it's because he's more out there.
Yeah.
And Kendrick's a more reserved. I don't know how you could be more reserved than J. Cole, but Kendrick seems to pull it off.
Yeah, like you know, J. Cole has like a wife and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
not
then
a lot of
Kendrick,
people even know that stuff.
yeah,
Kendrick has a wife too.
Yeah, and I think he might have a kid. I've heard like speculation that he has.
I mean, that would be a very reasonable excuse for not dropping music.
not being out there. Yeah,
Yeah, you know
But
what I
if
mean?
he has one.
Or like at Day in Vegas, some people thought that Kendrick wasn't really Kendrick.
Yeah,
that makes
I was
They
there.
thought it was a fake Kendrick.
But again, not to go off too far, but yeah, like he was. That was Kendrick.
Yeah,
That was
no,
Kendrick.
I believe that.
I've been watching his YouTube live sets for so long that I knew like exactly what he was going to say in between, and I was like, if he doesn't say that, then it's not Kendrick.
Right.
But it was definitely Kendrick.
Okay, so we needed a bigger fan to actually confirm.
No, that was that, and they had pictures of him like before the whole thing, and then like
They
I
had
don't
pictures and stuff, but like,
I don't
did you
know.
see the pictures of him on stage where it's just like his face is covered up.
I don't-
He had a cowboy hat on,
I don't know exactly like
sunglasses.
why the outfit choice was why, but that's
That
Kendrick
was-
though.
yeah.
That's Kendrick though.
That's
'Cause
definitely Kendrick.
Look, we think about that. They said that was the last like album performance from his last one. Maybe that's going into whatever he has going next. That's the type of artist that Kendrick is.
So we're looking forward to a country themes album.
Yeah,
from Kendrick.
Cowboy Kenny. Cowboy Kenny.
We just had Kung Fu Kenny. Now we're going to Cowboy Kenny.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, let's kind of get into the basketball.
Yeah. Yes.
So when you hooped in high school, and this is actually kind of going into what I really want to touch up on through this interview, but when you were in high school, college, etc., Before games, did you have a specific playlist?
It ranged, honestly, because, like, when I want to say a freshman in high school, that was 2009, 2008-ish. Drake was, like, he wasn't what he obviously was now, but he was, like, you know, the whole Young Money thing. I literally had the Carter. I had Drake. What was it? It wasn't a... I'm trying to think of the album, the specific album, but he had a bunch of mixtapes. He had October's Very Own, all that different stuff. Yeah. So I warmed up to anything from Drake to Lupe at the time. Lupe Fiasco was my guy. Jay-Z was always obviously in there. And then I had to put either Kendrick, which we talked before, or Childish Gambino. Childish Gambino at the time was making his way. Obviously, people know him for something completely different.
Talking about Campfire?
Yeah, Campfire. Yeah. So that, and then he had like I think he had Freaks and Geeks come out, like his little single or whatever, like maybe a year before that. But he was always in rotation. Right. Always in rotation. So along with Kendrick, he's probably like the main guy that I always had in my warm-up playlist for basketball, for sure.
So it's obvious that maybe that playlist that you listen to is an influence of yours in your music.
Definitely. And it's funny because, you know, we basically, you know, grew up together. And you guys were probably the ones, because I wasn't really listening to hip-hop music before I met you guys.
What were you listening to?
Man, I grew up in a very Christian gospel. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I listened to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so when we used to go to,
I should have figured.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying?
You know what
like,
I'm saying?
yeah. So I was listening to a lot of that, and then I remember, you know, we go to, you know, AAU practice or whatever, and then Trey's bumping you know, the newest, like, Lil Wayne, or he's bumping No Ceilings in the car. Like, and I'm like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying?
John Doe,
Completely, bro, on repeat, John Doe. Remember, we had John Doe for our come out.
Our nice games.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
On repeat. So it was a whole new world to me. Yeah. Obviously, I had heard some of the stuff, but it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, in my house. So that experience, the whole basketball community and basketball experience, got me to listen to more stuff that I wasn't listening to, you know, in my house, obviously, because my mom wasn't playing, you know.
Right, but those type of artists you listen to and stuff like that, I feel like it's like the middle area, you know what I'm saying, between that type of like gospel music to, you know, going towards, you know, straight up rap.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like Gambino, Kendrick, Cole, like those type of artists, those are definitely like the ones in the middle that can have it, you know, they can have their music played in both areas.
Yeah, and I tell you what, like Lupe probably was like the main person that bridged the gap because it was something that was like intellectual.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't, like, at the time, like everything had to mean something. So that was kind of the gap that I bridged as far as trying to figure out what I should listen to. So yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. With those. So when you would listen to the playlist, what is the goal of it? Like, are you trying to get hyped? You trying to like, honestly, you know, ease your mind? Are you trying to get locked in exactly? Or how exactly are you trying to, you know, ensure that you are when the game starts?
Honestly, it kind of depends game by game for me.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, we're playing a preseason game, we're playing a scrimmage, and, you know, we're playing some team from... Matter of fact, after I got done playing at high school, I went and played college basketball, and we used to scrimmage people from like Sacramento and like places I didn't even know. So I'm mad nervous. So when I'm nervous, I like to play things that are a little bit more like
mellow.
Yeah, because me with jitters, and then I add, you know, let's say I got like big
the adrenaline.
yeah, I got Big Crit yelling, you know, Southern slang at me. Well, I don't think it right. Like it mixes. So I'll usually go back to like some R&B. I'll go to like some Sade. I'll go to like some real real mellow stuff. But if I have something to prove, you best believe I'm playing Crit. I'm playing some Wayne, obviously. I'm playing some Kanye.
Yeah.
Old
Kanye.
Yeah, old Kanye. Not so much now, but
not Yeezus.
Yeah, not Yeezus. Yeah, we're talking my beautiful
Darkest Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm talking more of that. But so yeah, when it's a game like that and I need to be prepared and I need to get myself hyped up, it's definitely we playing Crib, we playing yeah, all those guys. So
yeah, no, you know what? I'm glad you said that. That actually, I used to always think that I'm like the only person because in like in the locker room or like preparing for a game and stuff like that, I'd have my headphones and obviously listen to my playlist, and I'd always think like, man, I don't want nobody to ask me what I'm listening to right now because there's some real soft stuff right now.
No, it's crazy.
Like it's real soft, mellow R&B, and I'm kind of like just chilling in my zone. You know what I mean? And like I might be listening to some Beyonce. I'm gonna be real. You know what I'm saying?
No, like I never forget my freshman year. We were playing. I forgot who we were playing. I think we might have been playing like Rancho at home or something like that. It's like real whatever game or whatever. Right. I was listening, and I won't say who came up to me and said it, but somebody came up to me and was like, I was listening to Drake, but I was listening to
like Take Care Drake.
Yeah, probably. Like some like very like
I was
slow.
listening to that too.
Yeah, like very,
except Marvin's Room. I was not listening to no Marvin's Room.
No, that was too sad. That was like
that was like I don't even want to play in this game.
That's after the game after you lost. But I was listening to Drake and he was like, "You're listening to Drake like now?" And I was like, "Why not? Like why can't I listen to Drake right now?" And it was you know what I'm saying, it was kind of out of what we were planning to do, but I was like, why not?
Because it wasn't Rick Ross, it wasn't Lil Wayne, it wasn't it wasn't any of those guys. That's like it wasn't like Young Jeezy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. This goes on. It wasn't any of those guys. It was like some soft light skinned guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you need that. Sometimes and then there's probably a lot of other basketball players that'll tell you the same thing, where they just need you to they just need to sit in the corner, not listen to anything loud and blaring, just something just to calm the waters before they go out there, because it's already loud out there when they go play. So why would you want to add to that?
Right.
So that's just me.
How do you feel about when you listen to your playlist and then you go into layup lines and then they play whatever they're playing? You know what I'm saying? Like whatever's.
So it's a good question. So this is why. So sometimes this is after y'all left. But my senior year, they would play some things, and I'd be wanting to change the playlist. This is how I knew I was like musically. I was like, okay, like sequencing wise,
right?
Like they would have some songs that just did not match up, and I'm just like, why are they playing this right now? Why are they playing this right now? So for me, I was like, I get out of my playlist, I go out there, start doing layup lines, do my little reverse or whatever, 3-pointer or whatever, and then this next song comes on, and I'm like, why are they playing like?
Yeah, this is like totally messed up the vibe. Yeah. It was a song.
And they had to incorporate some different type of music. Couldn't have just straight rap music, so they had they had some generic stuff in there too. And I'm like, dang, come on, man, this is killing the vibe. We about to play Valley right now. Right? Why are you?
Yeah, it's the V game
it's
right now.
It's the V game. Why are we playing Party in the USA right now?
Oh man, I would hate to have listened to some Miley Cyrus before a game.
Bro, you wouldn't believe, man. Family fun at the games though. So anyway, but yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, that would definitely take me out. But sometimes the playlist would hit, man. Sometimes it'd be like, okay, cool.
Depending on what school or where you would go and stuff like that, definitely. Whatever gym you're in, like the demographic. You go to Coronado, you can expect that Miley Cyrus. You go to Canyon Springs,
it's all bad.
You can definitely expect some Rick Ross and Jeezy.
Yeah, exactly. Like we can't be going to play Finley Prep and you playing like you know what I'm saying, some Hall & Oates. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we can't. Nah, bro.
We have to get we all have something to prove here against Philly, like something like that.
Exactly.
So how do you feel if you had to go through your whole entire career, like playing career, without music? Like, what if there was no music to listen to before a game?
It's like the equivalent of not having fans at a game. It's like music in itself is such a big, like, you think about anything music wise. You look at the NBA commercials. You look at the starting lineups, like the music in between when they, you know what I'm saying, like when they're taking the ball down the court, they're running. Like, there's so much music involved in NBA culture. It just be like it almost wouldn't fit. I almost wonder how the guys in like the 60s and 70s, or not 70s, but like when they early like George Mikan and all them guys played like without anything.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Like
no
when the game was first invented and things like that?
Yeah, like dude making a peach basket, and then like, you know, it's like, what? There's like no music to be played when they're playing, they're playing basketball. So I don't know.
It's crazy how like they get locked in and in the zone. A lot of people, I'm sure back then they probably read books or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's another way for that people, you know, use to get into the zone.
Exactly.
Like Kobe would read, like Kobe, for example, he read books before games.
Yeah.
Obviously listen to music as well, but you know, sometimes he'd read a book. LeBron read books before games, etc. You know, so it's just whatever needs to be done gets done in order for, you know, these guys to lock in.
Exactly.
You know, for 48 minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's everybody has a different routine. It's just, like I said, with the culture between music and especially hip hop and basketball and NBA basketball, it's just like it's hand in hand almost. You can't, like, you know, from people on the sidelines, all the celebrities that come, all the hip hop celebrities that come on the sidelines. It's like it's almost like a joint family.
Right.
Like you can't have almost
one without the other.
Yeah. So you take away music, it's a little different.
So, with you saying that you can't have one without the other as far as music and basketball goes, do you think that's why there is that stigma where they say that rappers want to be hoopers want to be rappers?
That's crazy that you brought that up, because I think it's the similarity of both, honestly. I feel like most rappers, I put it like this, rappers' careers and basketball players' careers are pretty much the same. Think about it. Think about it like this. So like, you get drafted. Most people that get signed that start rapping are like 19, 20. You know, you have a couple that
younger,
developmental league get signed at like 22, 23 or whatever.
Right.
But your career typically ends, you know, towards your 30s, like 33, 34, 35. Some people that have longevity, like Wayne or Jay-Z, they can rap whatever. But most of the people, career-wise, it's the same as basketball. You have your highs, your lows, you have your awards, you win your awards. As far as trying to prove yourself to, you know, other people consistently on a night-to-night basis or an album-to-album or song-to-song basis, same thing. The competitive nature is always there. For me, there's a lot of similarities. And you got a lot of basketball players or a lot of hip-hop artists that have played basketball. 2 Chainz is one of them. He's like college basketball. Do you remember back when we were in high school, when 2 Chainz first started to drop solo music, they were talking about how he had like a 4.0 GPA, went to Harvard, graduated and stuff like that. So it just made me think, you know, maybe he hooped at Harvard. Nobody's ever been able to connect the dots.
I never thought about that.
And I always see like that one clip of him dunking at the end of like some, I don't know if it was I think it might have been a college game. But yeah, there's a lot of rappers that hoop, you know, now. And you see like J. Cole. J. Cole's up there getting shots at Chapel Hill in you know what I'm saying, North Carolina, obviously where he's from, but he's with Tar Heels up there at practice getting shots up.
Trying to be like Drake in Kentucky, except for he ain't shooting no air balls.
Bro. So I was like, man, he didn't have to shoot a 3. He could have shot a mid-range jumper, a little 17, you know, 15
Start off light, you know what I mean, for your legs.
Get the ball in the rim first, you know, let it see it go through first. He over here, 30-footer. From deep, he's trying to be like Steph.
The definition of shooting your shot, for real.
Yeah, so, but yeah, for a lot of rappers, like, again, you bring up Drake. Drake, for instance, you know, he has a full-on basketball court in his, like, his embassy or whatever he calls it.
Yeah, and you know, he has a league, a basketball league.
Exactly. So I think there's a lot of, you know, correlation between the rap game and obviously playing in the league, because you know, it's basically the same competitive nature, the same longevity, same everything. So,
but why do you think that like rappers want to be basketball players though? Like, I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the lifestyles, but what makes it different to where a rapper would want to be a hooper or a hooper would want to be a rapper?
I think it's. I want to say it's where, because like for me and a lot of my friends growing up, that's all we saw. Like we saw, you know, for them, they probably saw Michael Jordan. They saw like all these different things when they're growing up. Obviously, a lot of people that come from where I come from is like rapping, basketball, and you know, if you get something else. But like those are the only 2 things that we see that like that resembles, and not to get into the whole race thing, but that resembles us.
No, legit.
That resembles us.
I'm glad you're getting into this.
You know,
Perfect time.
You know what I'm
to get
saying?
into
Like
this.
it resembles us. That's all we saw. We saw
Right.
that. You know, singers, dancers, actors, stuff that fame. And then if you couldn't do that, it was like, what else?
Right.
You know, what else could you do? So a lot of the rappers that I've seen that they talk about in there, especially when they're in their lyrics, they talk about, you know, hoop dreams, and then like especially J. Cole, he has a full-on mixtape called The Warm Up, and then Friday Night Lights. Like he played at not played, but he was like on the I guess the practice team for St. John's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like. He, you know what I'm saying, he had ambitions, and he talks about it all the time as, you know, people in the black community, especially black kids growing up, all they see is that.
Right.
And especially if you don't have another opportunity to do anything else, that's it. That's the stigma. So I think that's what kind of goes hand in hand with rap and, you know, basketball. Yeah,
and just to push that further, I'm gonna use Dave East as the example right now. He hooped AAU and high school ball with Kevin Durant and Michael Beasley and others to go along with them, and obviously basketball wasn't the route that was for him because he got into some other things where that it kind of, you know, shifted his life to where it was only one way.
Yeah.
You know, it was going to be rapping. That was going to be the only way he was actually going to be able to make it, you know, without, you know, selling drugs or whatever it is that he would feel like he'd have to do in order to actually be successful at something. But yeah, no, it's always been rap or basketball.
Yeah.
If you're not able to go to school, which a lot of people are not able to go to school if they can't get an athletic scholarship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even getting a academic scholarship it seems easy to a lot of people. Yeah. Except for those where it's actually hard to get one. Yeah. If that makes sense with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's it's hard for them more so because of how they have to grow up.
Yeah, and it's all background. Because like if you, especially if, you know, again, going back to the black community, and I'm not saying this for everybody because my parents, you know what I'm saying, they didn't go to college, but they, you know what I'm saying, I didn't really have to struggle as much. But I had friends that used to come over to the crib, and they used to stay at the crib because all they had was, you know what I'm saying, they would go back home, everything was torn apart.
Right.
So when they got on the basketball court, they came on the basketball court, they had, you know, everything was left out there because when they went back home, that was all they had.
It's the only time you feel free.
Yeah, they don't have any other, you know what I'm saying, they didn't have any other option. So for me, that's why I say with the whole basketball thing and the rap thing, we only saw two options.
Right.
Two outlets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what most of us see.
Facts. No, and even for me, like, it was kind of the same. Like, my mom always told me, you know, to get an academic scholarship. There was a point where, you know, that wasn't going to be possible for me. Yeah. You know, just because of the fact that I was lacking on my schoolwork. Yeah. But I would always tell my mom, like, look, like, I'm going to try my hardest to, you know, get through this with basketball and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But then there was a point where that wasn't going to be a thing for me either. Yeah. So then she was talking about joining the military. You know what I'm saying? She was like, well, you're going to have to join the military then. I'm like, nah, there's no way. That's not an option. I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. Like, otherwise than that.
Yeah, so, that's what go ahead.
So from there, it's just like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying?
At that point.
Do I rap? Do I sell drugs?
Yeah.
You know? Or,
you know what I'm saying?
Do I just be happy with the 9-to-5 lifestyle?
And that's what I'm saying. And then look, it can go both ways too, because like I'm sitting here, I have you know, a bachelor's degree and I have an associate's. Right. But I'm rapping still. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like stuff that we were talking about earlier where you grew up around it. Right. And you're just like, oh man, I would love to be that. Right. That sometimes that just doesn't leave. So like I said, there's still people that I know today that are still trying to make it to that next level. I have a cousin that plays in the G League right now. He plays for the Greensboro Hornets. Okay. And so, you know, affiliates of the actual Hornets. Right. But he's been, you know, trying to get to that next level. You know, my boy Aziz, always, trying to get to that next level. Right. He's hooping overseas. Exactly. So, you know, it's what's in our DNA when we, you know, since birth, basically. And
that's all we know, man. Yeah. And that's why I decided. I mean, it took me years to figure it out, but that's why I decided to just try to figure it out with basketball. Yeah. but I found my own lane within it.
Yeah.
And here we are. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Exactly why we're here. You know, so.
Yeah, find your own lane. Like I was talking, off this, we talk all the time, like as far as like trying to do something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that everybody else is doing it. It's like, no, if you're passionate about it, do it. And that's why Isolation Podcast exists. That's why I do what I do, because I have a passion for it. Yeah. And it's something that was in our DNA.
Same thing. That's why HoopFanatic Podcast exists. That's why the Sin City Audible Podcast exists. You know, that's why we got friends that we used to hoop with and stuff like that are now really good rappers, engineers, producers. Exactly. And it's just like the whole East Side, you know what I'm saying, is really like we're all finding, our niche.
Yeah, I call it the Renaissance era. Like when everybody's kind of just trying to figure out what's going on, but like you're headed in the right direction. Like 10, 15 years ago, it was not. I personally, I don't think it was like this, where everybody's trying to help each other out.
It definitely didn't seem like it. No. You know what I'm saying? It definitely didn't.
If it was, I missed it, because I for sure would have started rapping.
And we're still looking for it. You know what I'm saying? Because those people that grew up in those times, they're not even talking about it.
Yeah, exactly my point.
Those people like that are like our OGs. We don't hear them talk about it.
Exactly. So no, it's good to see, man.
Matter of fact, I actually heard from Vince. He was telling me that his dad was telling us, like, look, I like what you guys are doing with the East Side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the fact that he noticed that at one of, I think it was Mikey's show.
Yeah, the one at the bunkhouse.
Yeah, it was Mikey's show, and the whole East was there, right? And the whole East stayed for everyone's performance. Yeah, the fact, rather than what you're usually used to
is like
where like your fans will come. Yeah, they'll stay for you. And once you're off, they're out. Yeah, and then some Mikey's fans comes in. Yep. And then they leave. Yeah, and then you got everybody's fans, everybody.
It was crazy because I hadn't seen some people in a very long time. Yeah. And I was like, man, like it was one of those things like, do they even know I rap? You know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody stayed, and it was cool because it was like there was usually the shows I do, man, I go in there, it's a hostile environment. It's a killed or be killed like type thing. Like you go in there, you have your set fans. If you don't have a lot of people there, you got to convince people to stay. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that night. That night, I got up there. I was after Traven, which I hated because Traven killed his set. I was like, oh my goodness. But he did his thing, and then I got up next, and I was like, wow, everybody's still in front of the stage.
Right. Like nobody budged. Yeah. And like for me to be someone that is, to be a fan, like on the other side of things, like I sit and I observe and I look at all that stuff too, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, this is different.
I was expecting to find a new spot like on the other side of the front.
Yeah, you know exactly. As soon as that next person got off, because I got off, and then I think it was my boy James Wade, and I don't think he's from somewhere else, but even him, he's not even from the East, and people still stayed
for him,
in the front, and I was like, oh, this is real.
I never even heard of him, but I was there, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, and I was like, "This is real." Okay, for sure. So it's definitely a different era that's going on right now.
Right, and Vince's dad was just like, whatever you guys are on, like I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, he's definitely. He came up to me after the show. Matter of fact, he said the same thing. He was like, "Man, what you're doing, man, is sick. Like everybody that's up there, your crew, whoever you rocking with, keep rocking with them." And I was like, "Man, that's what I told Vince." Shout out to Vince one time because I was like, he was at the show and I was like,
Vince got fits. Yeah. He actually just dropped some with Triple O. You know what I'm saying? AKA Trio, AKA Traven, AKA.
Yeah, go listen to that.
3 O's.
Yeah, but I was telling Vince the same thing, and the same thing I tell Traven. I was like, you got to drop. I was like, you can't let this momentum just fall off after this show. Like, you have to drop something.
Keep going. To drop something. And I'm glad he did. And you know what? That's ooh, boy. That track is fire.
Yeah. So,
all right, but let's go ahead and let's get back into this little bit of basketball. Yeah. Who was your favorite basketball player?
Oh man, the Bean, Kobe. Of course, man. I mean, like, main sole reason, like, I got into basketball. Obviously, I'm a diehard Laker fan. Right. Diehard Laker fan. And so my dad, like, introduced me to, like, Kareem and, Magic and all the guys that were for James Worthy, all those guys. But it was something about the Kobe and Shaq, 2000 Lakers that stole my heart for me. Because Kobe was one of the first people that, one, everybody kept talking about Michael. And that's a whole different time. That's a whole different topic. But everybody kept talking about Michael, and I was like, I hadn't experienced, like, what are you, like, I don't know who, because all I seen is highlights. Right. So I didn't understand it. But when I start seeing Kobe play, and then I go back to the highlights of Michael Jordan, I'm like, oh, this is pretty much the same person. Right. I get it now. Right. I get why people love basketball so much and love.
Because back then people would watch Michael and get the same goosebumps that we would get watching Kobe.
Exactly. And I don't know, just the way he handled himself, the fact that, like, off the court, obviously after his career, like the way he, mentored and taught kids and during his career, being bilingual, like with 5-6 different languages, it was something that I wanted to be.
Trilingual, quadlingual.
Yeah, whatever lingual, he's something that I wanted to be growing up because the fact that he wasn't scared of failure. Right. He wasn't scared of what anybody thought of him. He always pushed limits. He got on the people that were around him, kind of like Michael. I mean, probably not as much as Michael. Michael's over there, maybe punching people in the face. I
wouldn't be surprised if Kobe socked a couple dudes out.
Oh no, definitely. He said he got in a fight with Shaq one time. So he
got in a fight with Shaq.
Well,
did you hear? I don't know if you watched all the smoke. Yeah, but they interviewed Isaiah Ryder. Yeah, and he was talking about how Shaq let him know, like, look, hey, if you fight Kobe, there's 10 racks in your locker. You fight Kobe. He didn't do it, the money, but it was just like, that's just how it was.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it was just like Shaq was probably trying to get everybody to fight. Kobe,
exactly. But so like with Kobe, it just reminded, it showed me, one, the appreciation of something that you're passionate to do. No matter what the cost is, no matter how much you have to sacrifice for it, he was one of the first people that, like, I gravitated to, and obviously because I love the Lakers and I just love the organization as it is. That was my guy.
So, so you pretty much went through all his mental, strengths. Yeah. But what was your favorite part about watching him on the court, as far as, like, skill wise? Like, what was the favorite thing that he would do?
I mean,
night in, night out.
Skill wise, I mean, first it would be a mental thing, honestly. His approach to the game, the way he, tactically studied offenses, studied defenses. Yeah. He'd go into a game, and he's probably one of the few people, obviously, in our generation that knew how to turn it on at any point in time. I've never seen somebody go on a scoring rant, especially in that, I think it was 06 season. When he was like it was like in January, he had like 40 or 50 points and like average. But so
and it was straight games of 40 points, 50 points. Yeah. He had the 81 in January as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He went
on a rampage. Ballistic. He had like 63 against the Mavs in like 3 quarters or something like that.
Ballistic.
Yeah, insane. So I guess that's the first thing. And then on top of that, like his footwork. On the basketball court, I always watch him on the low post, and I always wonder how he's gonna get these things, like these shots off over taller defenders, over, you know what I'm saying? Right. That in itself, and the fact that he paid attention to so much detail, that was one of the biggest things for me.
Crazy, to the game. Like, his footwork was like, it just made you want to, like, for me personally, watching him in the post with his footwork and stuff, I felt like I was dancing.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people.
Like, as weird as that is to say, like, I just felt like I was out there, like actually dancing with him. Because, I mean, as he's on the TV doing that, I'm in the living room trying to imitate
him. To do the same thing. We're like reverse jab pivots, like everything like I go out literally that night and I work on my mid-range game. Obviously nowadays it's frowned upon to shoot a mid-range jumper because of analytics. But
it's a lost art in the game. That's all it is.
But man, I tell you what, man, like there's still people in the league that still use the mid-range game.
Kawhi won a championship with the mid-range game.
DeMar DeRozan still uses the mid-range game. Kimba, more than likely. Russell Westbrook's another guy. They all use mid-range.
Russell Westbrook loved that elbow jumper.
Oh, man, to death. He loves that. To death. He's got a wife, but he's got a second one with that elbow jumper. I tell you what, man. But no, so it's those things that I learned from Kobe. Is just like, the details, the minute details about approaching something. And that's the same thing I take with my music. It's like the little details, the fine details and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So why do you love basketball?
Oh man, I mean, like I said, if we haven't covered it already, like I said, for me, basketball is something that I grew up with. I've been playing, or I was playing since I was like 3 years old. It's something that was always on in the house, something that kept me out of trouble as a kid. It always, led me to different friendships and like people that I know today. It's taught me a lot about, working hard at something and dedication to something. If you want to be good at something, you have to be dedicated to it. It's just been, my life for a good about 20 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just something that's always stuck by me, and always, the ball has never done me wrong as far as that goes. So, some people say it's their their second girlfriend or second their wife, first wife.
First love.
First love. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was for me, man. So basketball has always been the go-to. Even now, I'm still looking at outside. They're taking the rims down and stuff. I'm like, okay, let me go get my own rim,
right?
So I can go shoot because it's still
right, man. Or go find a spot.
Yeah, for real.
They still got them up. Like they kept them up on at schools.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you the location after this.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put it out there for the world to see, but I'll tell you the location. I got a couple locations.
They're gonna be running fives if you tell them on here. So.
But for all those that want to know that live in Vegas, Tarkanian is open for reservations only. Okay, so make sure you go fill out your spot as soon as you can. Otherwise, you ain't gonna be hooping for another 2 months, man.
You're gonna be like me, looking for a basket.
I'm just happy. I'm 4 straight days in. I can't feel my legs. They feel like overcooked noodles. But I'm really like, and I'll be back tomorrow with my overcooked noodle legs. But I'm like really, it's just a euphoric feeling. You know what I'm saying? That,
man.
When you're really, it's just anything that you could be passionate about. So if someone out there is passionate about bagging groceries, or if someone else is out there passionate about, archery or something like that, just think about your passion for whatever it is you're passionate about, and just relate it to how we are passionate about basketball.
Exactly. And I know
or music.
Yeah, exactly. And so I know we're coming out of quarantine, but this is the time to do it. So if you have a passion, you have a goal, or something that you're going to try to work on, this is the time to do it. Because I don't know the next time. Hopefully we won't have this much downtime ever again. But I don't know when we're going to get this much downtime to do something that you love, with all this free time. So do it, man.
Absolutely. So before we get out of here, what's next for you?
Yeah, man. So like I said, it's really just waiting to see what happens with the whole quarantine thing. I am working on a new project as we speak. Due to the climate and stuff, I'm trying to wait and see when it's going to come out. But I am working on some new music. And then I'm trying to do some stuff in the community, honestly. I'm trying to do some, what we had planned to do. I was trying to correlate some, back to school giveaways, some stuff like that. I really want to give back to, the East Side. Just, and whether it's, teaming up with you guys, or teaming up with, Trio, or anybody else that's on this side, just trying to give back to the East Side until all this stuff passes, because I know people need it. So. Oh man,
we need it more than ever right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, especially with these protests going on. But I'm not gonna get into that here.
It's a whole different podcast.
You know what I'm saying? You can definitely follow us on Twitter at HoopFanatic TyJ.
Stevie got a J on Twitter.
Go ahead, follow us on Twitter. We definitely retweet some things.
Yeah,
yeah. But I'm not going to go in any further than that.
Keep it light.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Isolation Podcast. Make sure you guys tune in to Sin City Audible Podcast, HoopFanatic Podcast, more Isolation Podcast content. Make sure y'all go check out Stevie's SoundCloud. Check out his Apple his music on Apple is on Apple Music. It's on Spotify.
Yep.
And pretty much everywhere else,
pretty much everything.
Yeah. So you can pretty much find him. Go ahead, say your name.
Stephen Joseph. Like I said, like what Tyler said, you can find it on anything, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. I have some stuff on YouTube. You can type in my name, Stephen Joseph. I got the Stay at Home Sundays on there. Just a bunch of stuff you guys can run through. Instagram, obviously, Stevie got a J. All my stuff is on there. So,
yeah, stay tuned.